Audio Device Live is the preeminent audio and home theater show in the world, and nobody can do it like our team here at Audio Device.
Audio Device Live is designed for anyone who's just checking out audio for the first time or an audiophile that's been living and breathing it forever. We bring the heaviest hitters in the industry, Macintosh, Bowers & Wilkins, all of the biggest names.
Our goal with Audio Device Live is to bring the best brands and manufacturers in the world to have the chance to interact firsthand with our customers, to be able to deliver these amazing world-class experiences and see them firsthand.
My friends and I have had so much fun at Audio Device Live. It's been an incredible experience. It's so great to be around people who, really appreciate the gear, and it's been such a fun time.
Our team makes this the best experience a consumer could possibly have in the nation. It is the second largest audio show in the country and the largest home theater show in the world.
Experience the one-of-a-kind magic of Audio Device Live. Visit our website today.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Audio Advice live stream and giveaway, where today we're going to be joined by some of our good friends to talk about all things Audio Advice Live and some of the standout experiences, and most notably, some of the standout two-channel experiences that you're going to see at the show. So get ready. We're going to have some conversation from our friends over at Focal, MoFi, and Lenbrook, just to talk about what they're showing and giving away a few different products. So for the giveaway of the products, to enter in, just leave a comment. It's going to be one entry per person, regardless of how many comments you leave. So go ahead and get those comments in, and you could win something really cool. We'll tell you more about the products whenever they come up. But if you haven't heard about Audio Advice Live yet, it's going to be a lot of fun this year. This is our fourth year doing this. So many times it's almost run together, but everyone kind of just keeps stepping up and getting bigger. So this is an audio show that's in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're going to be holding it at the Sheraton Hotel, where we rent out the entire thing. And we do 10 plus theaters, tons of two-channel rooms, probably 30 or more setups, everywhere from entry-level setups all the way up to the top. And this is a consumer first show. So the consumer first means that if you are just getting into audio, or if you are an audiophile, whatever, come to the show. Or if you just want to, check out some cool gear, it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's not just for the industry. So definitely come out to the show again, August 1st through 3rd in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're also going to have a really fun kickoff event where we're going to have a band playing with some keynote speech and to announce some of our global launches that we're going to be doing, as well as some deep dive sessions along the way of the show. So you can really learn about some cool stuff. So come out and hang out with us. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to bring out one of our first guests today, who's going to be Woody with MoFi, and he's going to talk about what they're bringing out. So, hey, Woody, how are you doing today?
Good, man. Always good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. So tell everybody kind of who you are and what you do.
I work with MoFi Distribution. We're a company that has our own brand of electronics and loudspeakers, and we also import a number of brands from Europe that we also sell. So we're going to have a number of those represented at Audio Advice Live.
Very cool. Very cool. So just list off some of the brands that people can expect to see from you guys.
Well, we're going to have Wharfedale. We're going to have Quad. We're going to have Solid Steel. We're going to have HiFi Rose and MoFi Electronics. So all of those brands will have products there.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys came out last year and you made a big splash. So I think you're going to be doing something of similar size, but we've got some new things in the front. So tell us specifically some of the setups that are going to be there.
Well, it'll be somewhat similar to last year. Last year we had the 888, which is a floor standing loudspeaker, and it sounded great in that room. It's a big room that it's in, but this speaker really filled the room. But what we're going to do this year is we're going to have the V10, which is a larger version of that speaker. And instead of using 8-inch drivers, it uses 10-inch drivers, and it has two passive radiators on the back. So if you look at that picture, those two bottom drivers are 10-inch woofers that have their own separate enclosure coupled to those base radiators. So this speaker is 4 feet tall and weighs 160 pounds for each cabinet. So this is going to light that room up. We're going to have fun. And we're going to be there with Andrew Jones, the speaker designer who designed all these speakers for us. And he likes He likes enthusiastic demos, so
He does.
the volume should be quite loud.
Well, we got to hear these over at Axpona. Were those a pre-production model, or were
Yes,
those?
yes,
Okay, so this will be the finished version. So yeah, we got to
yes,
hear some of the demos over at Axpona from Andrew, and that was a much larger room than what's
yeah,
going to
oh yeah.
be here. And at Axpona, those things filled the room, no problem. So I'm excited to see what it sounds like in a little bit smaller space, and especially from Andrew playing some bumping demos. So it's going to be fun. Yeah, and a lot of people probably have heard of Andrew Jones, and so
Mhm,
he's going to be at the show, talking to
mhm.
some of the clients. We're also going to have him on a deep dive session, which more information to come on that. But he's going to be sharing some of his knowledge with just the people who are at Audio Advice Live.
Yeah, Andrew is he's very personable and he loves talking to people. So if you come to the show and you have questions about his designs or any of the other brands he's worked for, he's very approachable. But he's
Yep.
somebody that's always fun to be around. I learn a lot just listening to him talk, you know.
Yep.
And
Yep.
these new ones, I think people are going to love them. I think it's probably the heaviest loudspeaker under $10,000. Most speakers that are 160 pounds are super speakers. They're bigger than I
Mhm.
am. But so I'm really looking forward to hearing them in that room. I'm sure it'll sound great. The other thing we're going to have, and I'll probably put it in that room, we have a new streamer from HiFi Rose called a 451.
Mhm.
It's so new, I haven't even seen it yet.
Well, now you are.
Yeah, that's the only picture I could find. It's that new. It looks like, from what I can see the picture here, that it has headphone options. So it looks like it has a balanced headphone, an 1/8 inch and a 1/4 inch out, and a smaller screen than the traditional HiFi Rose streamers. But I think that's going to be around $3,000. But that's going to be a debut at the show, so I don't have a lot of details on it yet. So I'm looking forward to playing with that.
Yeah, no, we're super excited to have that out. What else you got?
Well, those will be in the main room. Off to the side of the main room, probably on a static display, we'll have the new Source Point 10 Masters Edition. So
Mhm.
we'll have that on the low slung stands, and both that and the V10 have a redesigned crossover with a tweeter switch on it, which is pretty nice because you can tailor that to your room. And we'll have that on display as well as a few other things if people want to see it. Like we'll have the new American Vintage turntable.
Mhm.
So the Fender turntable, that's actually has a plinth that's made by Fender. It's made out of
Oh, very
ash, and that's got a nice 10-inch tone arm. It's a really beautiful table. It's 25 pounds, has excellent feet, has a Delrin platter. So we'll have that on display as well. We might be spinning records. We might not. We're still trying to sort that out.
Oh, you got to.
Okay,
No,
we have
I
to.
insist.
All right. We'll be spinning some records because we've got a promotion going on a couple of our Master Deck turntable and our Master Phono where people can get 5 free albums if they
cool.
buy either one of those. So we'll have those albums at the show so you can see what the selections of free albums are.
Yeah, and if anybody's into into records, MoFi is kind of a gold standard on that front. And we had someone from your team on doing during Record Store Day talking about albums, and they're just absolutely their process is phenomenal. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for you guys to be bringing some albums out.
Yeah, it's fun getting to play a MoFi recording because we use them at shows a lot. And I have multiple pressings of some records, and the MoFi pressings are by far the quietest.
Yeah.
They just pay so much attention to the detail of how they're pressed. And of course, all through the mastering as well, but the pressings are just so quiet. So they're great demos. And, if somebody picks up a Master Deck or a Master Phono, they're going to have like reference quality vinyl right from the get-go. So we'll have that there as well. And that's going to be in the main room. And then there's a smaller room to the side where we're going to have some Wharfedale product as well. And Wharfedale has 2 new products. There's one called an Aston, and you guys are going to have a review of that very shortly. This is a really unique speaker. I've always been a big fan of 2-way mini monitors. They're very popular in England because they have smaller rooms than we have in the States usually. And I've always been someone who's owned 2-way mini monitors because I do most of my listening in my bedroom, which is a smaller room. And speakers like this work wonderfully. They can get tremendous bass. I can pressurize a room, and I get huge sound staging. And I was really excited about these. I love the stands because they go out to the edge of the speaker. They're not a center post. And I just think aesthetically that's more pleasing. And these are just lovely to look at. They're really nicely finished in walnut. They have a 6-inch driver. And I haven't been able to play my set yet because you guys have them. So I'm looking forward to playing with them when I get them back. But I'm very excited about that. That's just a tradition of British loudspeakers. The $2,000 British traditional loudspeaker existed for a long time, and that was 20 years ago. And now it's only $2,500 with the stand for a speaker. So considering it's 20 years later, it's almost no increase in price for a really nice speaker. There's only 500 pairs worldwide.
Oh, wow. And those available now?
Yes, you guys have them.
Oh, cool.
And they're $24.95 right now. The price is going to go up in about 60 days. But right now they're $24.95. You're one of the few dealers that has them. These are very limited quantities. And once they're gone, they're gone. They can't make any more. Gotcha. And the other thing we're going to have is we're going to have the new Evo 5 series. The Evo 5 series is a step above Diamond, which is the least expensive Wharfedale series. And these are really interesting. Peter Cuomo, who's the head of the acoustic design team over there, he made some improvements to these, and they're still very affordable. I don't think they went up much in price at all. They're like $1,000 for the smallest bookshelf, and the biggest floor stand is only $2,200. They're really reasonable. And they changed the cabinets. They're slightly larger. The finishes are a little different. They're a matte finish now, kind of a satin matte, because sometimes glossy finishes, they show fingerprints. And I think there's more of a trend now in design for more matte finishes. So they changed that. There's also this space gray finish, which we have that's kind of new. And I'm curious to see what people think of this. A lot of people really like it just because it's different, because so many speaker colors are all the same. They'll come in white, black, space gray, or walnut. And they use the AMT folded ribbon driver for really smooth, detailed highs, but without that brightness you can get from some tweeters. Mm-hmm. And they've redesigned the crossover, and it's really interesting. They've done a number of things to the driver to make the crossover able to be simplified. And that's a design goal for a lot of people when they're designing a speaker. If they can make the crossover simpler, it typically sounds better just having less components for the signal to go through. So they've expanded the frequency range of the drivers, simplified the crossover. They've also separated out the crossover. And these are a lot of things that you see on very high-end products, but you don't see things at this price point. Yeah. They've even developed this ring around the drivers that actually helps damp the driver. There's a lot of really cool tech in here. And I'm very much looking forward to hearing these because I really like the Evo 4. And I think the Evo 5 is it's probably going to be a crazy good value.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited to hear these, and I'm glad they went with a matte finish, especially for like home theater use case, just because you get a lot of glares off of glossy absolutely. Speakers. So that's definitely a good choice. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I like how Wharfedale uses different tweeter styles, and it's not like they're making a statement necessarily on their tweeter style, but sometimes they use a folded ribbon and a dome. Is it for different use cases that they're designed for, or kind of what's the thought behind that?
Well, the thing is that the folded ribbon is a really unique design, and it's really good. But if you have a series called Heritage, you kind of can't have a tweeter in there that didn't exist, 50 years ago. It kind of goes against the design philosophy. But the thing is, soft dome tweeters used to have problems is they didn't have very good frequency extension. Yeah. They played about 16 kilohertz and they rolled off. But modern soft dome tweeters sound much better than they used to. In fact, I heard a pair of old speakers at a dealer that was 40 years old, and I could tell how rolled off they are. The new soft domes can play beyond 20K, but they still have a smooth quality to them. And Wharfedale has always been known for being very easy to listen to. Like, remember your time with the Super Dentons? It's like they have a very easy to listen to quality about them. And one thing is that a lot of the music I listen to isn't audiophile music. Mm-hmm. And I was playing something the other day. It was Van Halen 1, and I'm like, and Alex is on the cymbals. He says, whoosh. And if you have a harsh sounding speaker, you're like, wow, I need to turn this off. But if you have something that's a little more easy to listen to, a little more balanced, you can listen to any kind of music, good recordings, bad recordings, all of them. Because if you just listen to audiophile music, you're going to miss out a lot of fun music.
Yeah, the Super Dentons were a blast to have. And
Aren't they?
sorry again, Woody. I took a little long to send Woody back as speakers. I enjoyed them that much. They
Yep.
were, they were in my living room for a while, and I was like, I'm going to give them, a good test so we can at least, have an informed live stream. And I fell in love with them. So I'm probably going to pick up a pair eventually. They were
Yeah.
a lot of fun for the living room setup, where that room's not super audiophile. It's super echoey, open concept, and those speakers just rock the space, even for their smaller size. They sounded fantastic. But awesome. Well, it sounds like you're bringing some good stuff to the show. We also we had a few questions in for the release date for the V10s. So when are those going to come out?
At the show.
Cool.
So beginning of August, we're going to have them. That's going to be the official big launch, and they'll be available.
Cool. Well, you heard it here, everybody. So maybe they can pick up a pair while they're at the show. Who knows?
Yeah, all 160 pounds. Throw them over your shoulder and
just throw them. Yeah,
we'll
make
sell
sure you
them
get a
right
car
off the floor.
that's slightly bigger than a Miata, and you'll be in good shape. So you can
weighs
put the
more.
top down on it and put it in the back seat. You'll be good.
Absolutely.
So cool. Well, we're looking forward to having you out at the show. So it should be a lot of fun. Come check out the MoFi room if you guys go to the show, and you're gonna be in for a treat. So thanks so much for coming out, Woody, and we'll see you at the show.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
All right, we'll see ya. So we have a surprise guest that showed up. I was wondering if he was going to show up. He's late in usual fashion, but always fashionable. So we got the one and only Gene De La Sala from Audioholics. Hey, Gene, how you doing?
Good. How's it going, Nick? Good to be back again. It's been a while, right?
Yeah, man. It's been a while since we had you on the channel. How you been?
Busy, believe it or not. I'm testing the Marantz Link 10N. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it breaks your back picking up. It's a 73-pound preamp.
We talked about that last week. They're also going to have that out at Audio Advice Live. So
Yeah.
in typical fashion, I got to pick your brain. You've been coming to Audio Advice Live since I think day one or the first event. So, tell everybody a bit about kind of your experiences that you've had at the show, how it's changed over the years, and just your thoughts on it.
I think it's one of the funnest consumer type shows because it's really meant for the consumer more than I love CEDIA and I love all the other trade shows around, but this one's really geared towards the consumer, someone that wants to meet the manufacturers, get demo experience, meet influencers. So, I mean, you get a variety of a lot of different things that are there for people. And it's just very laid back, casual, very organized. And it's not too big. It's not overwhelming. So I like that. You could spend plenty of time in the demo rooms. Although last year, some of those demo rooms you had to do by appointment. They packed in pretty big. It was almost like being at CEDIA, So I just like the experience. I like the town. I like Raleigh. It's a show I definitely try to prioritize every year to go to.
Yeah.
And participate in.
Yeah, because the first year we did one theater, the first year, one big, large-scale theater, and then the trend caught on, and now we've just had these huge rooms. And like Gene says, we sometimes just have lines waiting for them. So, you can get 3 days worth of entertainment at the show if you go to every single listening room and every theater. You're gonna have no problem with it. Also, Backend just messaged me, and so we have something really fun today. We're gonna do 50% off of tickets while this live stream's on. So if you guys are kind of on the fence, I sound very QVC right now, and I apologize for that. But today and today only, we're gonna be doing the 50% off the tickets during these live streams. So if you guys are on the fence about grabbing tickets, make sure you grab them. But Gene, I'm gonna keep you in here. We're gonna talk to we got a few other brands lined up, and so some that you're very familiar with, and so just want to have you on the conversation.
Sure.
Cool. So up next we have Chris from Focal coming in. Hey Chris, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Nick? Gene?
Chris,
Doing
good
well.
to see you again.
It's been a fast moment since we've seen each other. Sorry.
Yeah. But so Chris, tell us a bit about who you are and what you do.
My name is Chris Shaw. I'm the North American product specialist for Focal and Naim. So 2 companies under the same umbrella. Focal being a French manufacturer of speakers and Naim doing our electronics out of the UK.
Awesome. So you guys have participated in the show a few times. You came kind of in a big way last year, right?
Oh my gosh, you guys make us bring our best every single year, and then make us step up even more the next year. So and I don't think that we're going to disappoint you again this year. We've got some new stuff, some stuff that we've launched over the last whatever it's been, 306 333 days or whatever it's been since we last seen you. So it's going to be exciting as always.
Cool. Well, yeah, I know last year you guys were in a big room, and this year you decided to take even a bigger room. So it's going to be a huge setup. And Gene, you got to hear the system last year, didn't you?
I did actually. Yeah, it was Trinov Focal system. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. They actually made some tweaks the second day when I got back. Got to hear it again. So yeah, it was a nice system.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, we had all the different finishes. This screen right here is absolutely massive. That's a 185/16:9. We had to get you guys a different screen since you're going to be in a different room this year. So we've got a 200-inch 240 that I just ordered a couple days ago from Stuart Film Screen. So all the screens there are going to be Stuart, and so they were nice enough to help us out with getting about as big as I could reasonably put in that room without without blowing it out. So you guys are going to be partnered up this year with Sony as well for the GTZ 380. So they're going to be bringing a large scale projector. And tell us a bit about what the speakers that you're using this year.
Well, I mean, there's a couple points. I mean, obviously this year we wanted to take a big room, and last year we were kind of split up. We had a smaller room upstairs, we had the big room downstairs. So this year we're going to take the big room and put all of our products into a single room. That's going to be really nice. And of course, with us being so diverse, we have so many collections that we want to be able to show, from, custom install, floor standing, electronics, headphones, and the list just kind of goes on. So we kind of want to show everything. But this year, obviously, as I mentioned, is that you guys always make us step up. And so this year we're going to bring our brand new Utopia Cinema product. Of course, this will be the second public debut of this product in North America. So that's really exciting. And of course, that has drawn a lot of attention. And so this is the evolution of our custom install product line. We've been on the Focal side developing our custom install for the last decade, let's call it. And, as we've getting a little bit more recognition in the market for this type of product, we've got a lot more requests for larger product. And so we just launched this product here about 4 months ago, starting to ship in September. And of course, what better opportunity than to come and show it off with you guys.
Yeah, no, we're super excited. I got to hear this at Expona as well. And I think that it was I don't want to say a smaller room. It's probably a bigger room lengthwise, but it wasn't as big of a setup, I think, as we're going to have at Audio Advice Live. So at least not with screen wise and probably volume wise, knowing the pattern of our shows, but it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we're super excited. I mean, obviously, Expona, we didn't want the crazy screen because we didn't really want to take away from the first debut of the product. But obviously, this product deserves that large screen, and we're super excited to be partnered with, of course, with Stuart, Sony, and then with not only the Focal speakers, but of course, Naim Electronics as well.
Yeah,
Chris, are you going to up the subwoofer game this year too? I think you need more subs in that room. It's a big room.
So we're gonna be very similar to Expona, where Expona, we toned it down for the public, but I mean, at one point in time, I think we were at 107 dB in that big ballroom, which is pretty crazy. Even I had a small tier. It was getting pretty out of hand. But from last year, we're definitely stepping it up. I mean, we had 4 12-inch woofers last year in a 9.4.4. So we're going to a little bit different setup. We're going to a 7.4.4. But overall cone, surface area is that we're doubling it up.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing with those rooms, that they're hard to pressurize. One, because some of them have air walls, and then some of them have drop ceilings and a lot of room above the drop ceiling. So we tell everybody, I'm like, just bring as many subs as you can, and you'll be perfectly fine. I was like, who
it's not about going louder; it's about going deeper. More deep
Yeah. I was like, if we piss off the neighbors, everybody knows. Actually, nobody cares at an audio show. Everybody expects it. They're like, their bass is going to shake my room. I want my bass to shake their room. So
our theme is to pleasantly piss off the neighbors. To do it with good sound
There we go. Awesome. So you guys are going to have some 2-channel there as well, which is a lot of what we're talking about today, but you guys have a little bit different approach to 2-channel this year. So tell us a bit about it.
So, so obviously, since the last Audio Advice Live, we have launched our new Diva Utopia. This is our first active wireless set of hi-fi speakers. The fact is that, and as I mentioned earlier, we are 2 companies. We are Focal and we are Naim under the same umbrella. And what's really amazing about this is that we actually have both companies injecting their technologies into this product. So it is Focal. Designed, engineered, and built drivers, cabinets, paired perfectly with the Naim electronics. That is also built specifically for this product. So this has been really, we've been touring with this since, mid-October. And this has really kind of set the world up a little bit on fire. There's been a lot of talk of, wireless active speakers in that hi-fi kind of portfolio.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting one. I've seen them, but I haven't got to hear them yet. I think we lost Gene somewhere along the way.
Oh, no.
Again, easy come, easy go. No, but no, I haven't had a chance to hear these yet. So are you guys you're actually gonna have a live demo of it here? Because did you have one at Expona? Were you guys playing in them there?
So we did up in the upper floors. We had them on static down in the main ballroom, but we were kind of shuffling everybody up into a little bit smaller space. Of course, we want to have that little bit more ideal application. But what's super wonderful about this product is, of course, proprietary technologies, not only in the drivers, the cabinetry, the electronics, but also in room corrections. So, we've been touring with these. We've been doing all kinds of demos, showrooms, hotel ballrooms, hotel, guest rooms, and these are all terrible environments. But this product really has the ability to adapt to really any environment. I think we did one show, and one of the headings was "Worst Room, Best Sound." So we'll take that.
Sorry, Jim, we lost you for a bit. Have you had a chance to hear the Divas yet?
Yeah, I did. I heard them at Florida Audio Expo.
Oh, cool. What'd you think?
The room was bad. The speakers were good, but the room was not great. Yeah.
Echoed what Chris just said. Which room correction software does this have, Chris?
So it is a proprietary software. Basically, it's called Assert. We basically developed it so that you didn't require any kind of crazy software. And I like to think of it that we use the best 2 calibrated microphones in the world, and that's our left ear and our right ear, to calibrate these products. And so the idea of this is not only do we personalize this to the positioning, to the room, but also to the consumer's hearing. We've got that ability to contour to somebody that maybe has a little bit of hearing loss in one side or the other.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you guys do full range correction on these?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I know that sometimes the high frequencies in the 2-channel people like to curtain them off. Is there like an option that you can just do just your bass, for example, your bass frequencies?
Well, yeah. So we have a 3-step process. One is, taking rough measurements, placing them into the room, giving the speaker kind of an understanding of where they are placed in the room. The second one is basically room alignment. So the idea of this is that, this is in the hi-fi category, and we like to think it's a hi-fi product, but we're also marketing it as a lifestyle product. And of course, sometimes we don't necessarily like that terminology, but the idea is that we understood that this product may not be in the perfect room. It may not be in the perfect position. And so we can offset. And in some cases, we found that the product has to look good before it sounds good. So the room correction is really to get us back to that sounding good after we've got it looking good. And then from there, that's the second step, is kind of giving it an idea of where it is in the room. And then from there, we do tonal balance. So of course, every room is going to have its weird little nodes and funky little glitches into it. And so it allows us to compensate for that.
Cool. Yeah. And it's handy. I know a lot of purists in the 2-channel world don't like room correction, and they also don't like all-in-ones either. But objectively, those 2 things can be super, super beneficial, especially if you're wanting a clean setup and you want it to sound good in a, not necessarily great sounding room. definitely help with it. But
we've had a lot of, again, we've done, we've been touring with this since October. So we've done, Toronto, Florida, gosh, I'm trying to think, Capital Audio Fest, and whatever other shows, CES. And we had a lot of audiophiles that really came in with kind of a set in mind, but once you sit them down and play with them and show them the technology, they can, maybe it's not going to replace their hi-fi room, maybe not today, but maybe in the future, but also it gave them options for, having an audio system where they're not banished to the basement or to the garage, kind of applications too. So we found that was very popular.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to get to hear them. So I'm looking forward to it. You guys are bringing a few other things, right?
Correct. So, as I mentioned, we've got a very large portfolio. Unfortunately, we'd need a couple of containers to bring one of everything. But of course, with it is that still we have, our roots in hi-fi. So we are going to bring some samples of our hi-fi channel, products, at least be a little bit more passive at that application. Of course, the headphone side of things is that we're bringing our full collection of headphones, because this is still, very, very popular category for us. And especially the fact that we just launched the brand new Batiste MG here. Gosh, it was probably about 60 days ago. So this is gaining a lot of traction with the new magnesium dome and being fully, active wireless with active noise canceling. This has been a really popular headphone for us. So we're going to have that opportunity. And then, of course, a couple little bits and pieces. Again, Naim is a big part of our portfolio with the electronics. So we're going to bring some static product. And, of course, our brand new Naim CI, which is, again, kind of setting the world on fire. So lots of new stuff we're bringing this year. Just about everything we're bringing is somewhat new. So
yeah, this is a huge room, so you guys got a lot of space to fill, and I'm sure it's going to sound awesome. So yeah, this is probably this is the second largest room at the show. So we're going to have it partitioned off, and so it's going to be a full experience. You can spend 30 minutes in that room alone, probably more than that. But
well, the goal is to keep everyone for an hour to run them through the
awesome.
Through the fun house. So
yeah, well, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be sneaking in there the night before the show starts, and probably doing our traditional listening experience before everybody gets in. So it'll be a lot of fun. Well, very cool. Well, Chris, I really appreciate you coming out. Is there anything else that you want to share about the show?
I mean, we might have something really special. It's still kind of on the fence right now. We're still working timelines and shipping and stuff like that, but we might have something new and special. So, as we get close to the show, I'll be able to, I'll be able to confirm that. But I got my fingers crossed. If not,
we've got ours crossed.
We can talk about.
Yeah, I didn't know if I could even hint at it. So Chris is downplaying it. So if he can, it's gonna be super special. If not, you didn't know about it in the first place, so it doesn't matter, right? So, but cool. Well, Chris, thanks so much for coming on the show, and we look forward to seeing you at the show.
Oh, like I said, excited to come see you guys. What are we? 28 days, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Almost close enough to count my hands and toes.
Exactly.
So, that much, but
always fun show. Great show.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Talk soon.
See you soon.
So, Gene, I forgot to do something whenever I saw you popped in. We've got another giveaway product. So I'm going to see if, no, I think Woody's already gone. So like I said, we do have some giveaway products that we're giving away throughout the show. So we've got the one that MoFi graciously gifted us. Let me see if I can find it on here. Here we go. So they're giving away the MMF 1.5 turntable. So again, to enter in for the turntable giveaway, this is the Music Hall MMF 1.5. Just leave a comment on this video or on the live stream while it's live, and it's one submission per person, regardless of how many comments you leave. So don't spam and think you're gonna get 100 entries. So, but yeah, so just leave some positivity, comment about the show, and hopefully you'll win it. So without further ado, we got one more popping in here. Last but definitely not least, we got Travis Huff from Lenbrook. Hey, Travis, how you doing?
Nick, thanks for having me today. Hi, Gene.
How's it going, Travis?
Doing well, guys. Good to see
So
you.
Travis, tell us a bit about who you are, what you do, who Lenbrook is.
Okay. Well, I'm the regional sales manager for Lenbrook America, basically the Midwest, the Southeast, Florida, Puerto Rico. They just spread me a little bit thin, but I love it. I've been with Lenbrook for many years now. Lenbrook's a Canadian-based company that has been in the audio business now for, at least 40 years. They are the owners of NAD Electronics, PSB speakers, and they built Bluesound and the Blue OS operating system from the ground up, starting about 12 or 13 years ago. We also import and distribute a fantastic brand out of Denmark called Dolly speakers. And we also are working with the Monitor Audio Group, actually, to bring in block hi-fi, basically AV furniture, and also the Roxanne electronics, two British brands that are, basically adds to our arsenal as we work through distribution through Canada and the United States and South America as well. So that's Lenbrook does a lot. Bought the MQA camp recently. We're endeavoring to do a lot of really cutting edge, high res stuff that I probably won't touch on too much today. Those of you that come to the show, we can expound on that some more. But there's also some good information online at the Lenbrook website. But safe to say, Lenbrook has always been on the cutting edge of high quality, high resolution, perfectly produced music for the masses. So so we're bringing some neat things to the show this year. We've been there since the first year. It's a blast of a show to come to. I think it's a breath of fresh air from some of the things that we've experienced in the past, but you guys are really doing a great job, and the great turnout each year. We started out the first year in kind of a smaller suite.
Yeah, you were in the upstairs tower area, right?
Yeah. And then last year we graduated to one of the bigger rooms down on the first floor. And this year, Nick, you guys have put us in a nice space that I'm really excited about. I think we're going to be on the second floor. It's a good size room. I don't have the dimensions 20.
So I think that's pin oak, and
yes, sir.
Yeah. So it's about 18 by 30, something like that, 20 by 30. Excuse me. I got it right here. 19 by 25.
There we go.
A big room. It's got a big brick wall. Got a solid wall between you and the next demo room.
Yeah. We might not blow each other up all weekend. I'm excited about that. But no, we're going to bring to the table some of the new, some brand new, and also some of the newer. So I'd start first with the NAD brand. We're going to be bringing two of the new Master Series pieces, and I'm really excited that Gene's on the stream with us here. So there's the NAD Master Series 66 that we launched just last year in the Master Series. That is our preeminent streaming preamplifier. Of course, it has Bluesound on board. It's just a fantastic piece. Two of the brethren that are in the Master Series is the integrated amplifier, the M33, and the stereo amplifier or bridged mono amplifier, the M23. Both of those new iterations will be the M33 V2 and the M23 V2. The reason why I commented about Gene being on this stream is that, Gene has listened to the Master Series and has done a lot of testing, and I think he can attest to just the total lack of distortion in these pieces in the amplification section. It's super exciting stuff.
That amplifier tested my ability to accurately measure distortion and noise on my rig. I had to change things on my rig because it was so low in noise and distortion. It was tough. So I changed my leads. I changed a bunch of things. Yeah, that's pretty incredible. So what happens with the 23 version over the 22?
Yeah, so the Purify Eigentakt platform, I guess to say, we don't just buy a module from Purify. We work with their team, and so we've basically created a new level module of Purify Eigentakt for both the M23 and the M33. A couple other notes for you on that. The newer DACs that we're adding as well, the next generation ESS Saber, the ES9039 Pro DACs will be in there. We're also going to have some technologies that don't grill me on this because it's early and I'm still getting my feet wet with all this, but it's going to have some technologies called Focus, ADC, and Chrono DAC technologies for optimal psychoacoustic timing. This is part of the endeavor that we have been working on with MQA, with the absorption of MQA. So we're going to have that built into the M33 V2. It'll have the Dirac Live full room management and also bass control readiness and management. A couple of the additions as well is a new HDMI eARC input, output, XLR pre-outs, and some enhanced subwoofer output. Of course, this works with the Bluesound ecosystem. So BlueOS, you can stream up to 64 or more zones within BlueOS, and you can use up to 20 plus integrated services. Apple AirPlay 2, Spotify Connect, Tidal Connect, aptX HD, Bluetooth. It's just a really complete piece already, and we're just kind of bringing it up a notch. The M33 and the M23 are about 5 years old, so it's time to bring it up a notch or two, and we're just really excited to show this off. We made the announcement of the products just about less than a month ago, and we are bringing in the equipment. We're supposed to have it by mid-August, so our samples at the show will be the first samples that will be listened to by the American public.
That's awesome. So
we're really, really excited to show all that off to you guys, and we'll have those available for our customers soon after.
Dude, well, I'm really excited to hear those. The NAD Master Series is phenomenal. Like frankly, Gene's one of the ones that put me onto it. So whenever Gene was probably doing his first initial measurements of which amplifier was that, Gene? That was
the M22.
That was the M22. Okay.
Yeah,
that was the M22. And one of the best measuring pieces out there. People in the audiophile world get scared of Class D. It's nothing to be afraid of at all. That's a fantastic piece. So I got to seek it out and listen to it, and it is phenomenal. So
the interesting thing about that amplifier is the only way I could describe it is if you look at like a really good OLED set versus LCD, and you appreciate the black levels you get on an OLED, it's kind of similar with that amp. It's like it's eerily silent when it has to be. And it's not that other amps are noisy per se. I mean, you're always going to hear a little hiss if you're a couple of feet away, if you have high sensitivity speakers. I just noticed everything I was listening to on that amp, the really quiet sections of the music were just like dead, right? For lack of a better term. So that was something I perceived when I did some extensive listening tests on that amp.
Yeah, I think that when you play a really nice cut of music with those components, that you just really hear the space between the music and the notes even more. It's just really incredible, almost not eerie, but it's so special, so perfect. I kind of would use that segue into the speakers that we're going to demo this year. Dolly has been working on their core technology, KORE. In fact, at Expona, we had the core speakers. You probably heard those, Nick, and Gene. Those are the flagship speakers that are about 4 years old now, in design to the public purchase and consumption. But the technologies within core are really something that Dolly's been working on for a long time. Everything's proprietary. The drivers, the pulp fiber paper drivers, the MDC breakdown of the magnets and put back together of the magnets. What you've got are two technologies that basically lower the distortion to the speaker more than any other speaker brand out there. When you've got a magnet that doesn't produce nearly as much or contain nearly as much heat, and you've got a driver itself that is the lightest, sturdiest driver component on the market, it equates to less distortion. So you pair that with the NAD Masters series, and what you've got is just an incredible palette and then canvas for the music. So what we're bringing to the show this year is a trickle down from the core technology. So basically you've got the cores, and then you've got the Epicore, which used to be the Epicon series. So it's now the Epicore series. And what we're bringing to the show is the Rubicore 8s. The Rubicore 8s are going to be the flagship product of the Rubicore series. These retail in the US for about $13,000. The bookshelves, the on walls, the center channel price point range is more in the $4,000 to $5,000 range. But we're going to have for the Rubicore series, we're going to have their flagship Rubicore 8s. And so we'll look forward to hearing those together with NAD Masters series. Of course, that will be streaming on Bluesound, Blue OS technology built inside of the Masters series. And depending on the network, we'll be able to stream anything that we want. Tidal and Qobuz. I'm going to be bringing a hardware drive just in case the network's tough in the hotel. But no, that's the technology. That's the new stuff that we're bringing from those three companies.
Yeah, and you got something new from Bluesound recently, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna unveil the new Power Node N331. This is super cool. The historic Power Node was a 2.1 two-channel powered streamer with 80 watts of NAD power built into it. Well, the new one has 100 watts per channel times 2, but get this, it's got a third channel. It's a left, right, center configuration. If you decide to use the center channel terminals, it moves that power, and you're going to get 80 watts per channel for left, right, and center. It's got the dedicated subwoofer out. We're super excited about this piece because you can use this piece in conjunction with, say, a Power Node Edge to create basically our new theater series. So you can do a 5.1 with the new Power Node N331 and a Power Node Edge to drive rear books, rear in walls, rear in ceilings. You can also use the Pulse M speaker from Bluesound. You can also use the Pulse Flex speakers from Bluesound to create this 5.1 surround sound theater grouping. So we're going to show that off. We're also going to listen to it. We'll have that fired up along with the Node family at our listening bar. We're going to have a listening bar outside of the main room where you'll be able to listen to some of the new Dolly headphones. Dolly has come out with the IO12s last year. This is my traveling pair of the IO12s. Incredible pair of headphones, retailing at about $1,300. And they just launched the IO8s, which are going to retail closer to $900. We're going to have both of those pairs to listen to in conjunction with the Node family. So we're going to have the Node Nano, the Node, and the Node Icon, all three of which we launched last fall, and was just a great addition to the Bluesound family. We've got 3 different levels of preamplified streamers now in the Node. So we'll have the headphone bar with the streamers, and then just to touch on a couple of other things, as I had mentioned, that we do import and distribute both block HiFi audio furniture and Roxanne. So we will have our components will all be resting on the block furniture in the room, and so you'll be able to see some different finishes and just see the quality of that stuff. And then we'll have the Roxanne Caspian integrated amplifier in the room as well. It's outfitted with Bluesound as well. It's got the module built into it. That'll be probably more of a static display because we really want to play up and really want to show off the Masters series. But we will have those product lines on display in the room as well.
Very cool. Yeah, I love the Bluesound ecosystem. It's very intuitive, and functionally it works really well. I had it in my last house for a long time. Over my new house, I kind of custom built something, but no, it's a lot of fun. Gene, do you use Bluesound in your house?
Sorry.
You're muted. Yeah,
I do have the I forgot what the model number is. It's a portable streamer. It's about this big, black box. I use it in my guest room. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I love that stuff. Have you, Travis, since you guys are branching out into multi-channel, are you guys getting into like any of the spatial audio streaming like through Tidal, or is that a little challenging over that?
That's something that we're working on. Obviously, since we own the operating system, we're a software company. Of course, we're endeavoring to try to bring all the technology to the fore. Currently, we don't have that availability within the theater grouping, but we're working on that most definitely.
I'm really hoping somebody does it. I've been waiting for it. I think
you got to use an Apple TV in the interim.
Yeah, that's the only thing that does. Well, I think you can use some of the Rune soft. Like I think you could use like a Rune core with like their HDMI out, maybe. But I think you have to have the files physically downloaded. I don't know. I've been trying to find a way to do it besides an Apple TV, but I'm a huge spatial audio nerd. So is Gene.
Well, you guys, let's talk more about that because I know we're working towards that endeavor for sure. And I know that with the Bluesound stuff all being Rune endpoints, Rune capable, it'll get there. We'll get there with that, and so many of us want it. So it's just it's a matter of the software guys getting it all together for us.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I'm also a Rune nerd. My mission is to get Gene on it as well. Gene still hasn't branched out into the Rune ecosystem, but one day he'll have to get on it. It's my favorite way to find music because one thing I'll do is just like sit down at the end of the day and just go through related artists who inspired them, scroll through it. I love Rune. So
yeah, the discovery section of Rune and the history and the knowledge that it's like a newspaper almost, or like a dictionary for musicians or music lovers. It's pretty cool. I do like that.
Nick, I do need something like that because I have a habit of going on Tidal and just picking a song that I know will, like I call it a seed song. It'll generate a good playlist. But it's all predictable. It's the same every time. It doesn't vary. That's get burned out.
Yeah, they're starting to, some of the streaming softwares are starting to get a little bit better with their AI playlists and things like that, but I like being able to kind of like follow a story, like starting at an artist, and then there's a section usually on Rune of like who inspired that particular artist.
Oh, that's cool.
You just go backwards, which is a lot of fun, and then find others that are similar. Or you can go, again, I'm going to go nerdy for a second, but you can go into the credits of the album. And so if you hear like a bass player that you really like, you can click on that bass player and see what else they played on. So that's why I get into it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But it integrates really well with the Bluesound. The Bluesound.
Yeah, I might comment on that too. For everyone else listening, the Bluesound is not just, or the Blue OS streaming capabilities is not just from the Bluesound branded, products. All of the NAD stuff has it. There's 15 and more NAD products that are on board that have Blue OS built in, and then PSB has an Alpha IQ speaker with Bluesound on board. So it's an ecosystem that's just growing exponentially year after year, and they're all Rune endpoints. So super cool.
A lot of fun. Well, I'm excited to get to hear the lineup. I got to hear the core series over at Axpona, and it was phenomenal. So I'm excited to hear it in a little bit smaller room. Now it's still a big room, but this room's going to have, I think brick on one side of it. It's going to be 4 solid walls. So it'll be it'll be a very cool setup. So we're looking forward to it. And Travis, I think you brought something that you're giving away today, right?
Yeah, we were going to give away one of the nodes from the Node family, the Bluesound Node Nano.
Very cool. So tell the people a bit about that.
Yeah, so this is just one of our pre-amplified streamers. It's the little brother to the Node, and
That's the one I have, actually.
the Node icon. Yeah, it's great for travel. It's great for tucking it away. It's the attributes of this thing is it plays full high res music all the way up to 24 192 files content. It's got one of the latest greatest ESS Saber DACs on board. When we launched the Node family last fall, we also upgraded all the DACs. So this product does everything that you would want with high-res streaming. And the only thing that it doesn't really contain that, say, the Node does is local source inputs. It doesn't have the local HDMI ARC input. It doesn't have analog or digital inputs built into it. But it fully it has the digital and analog outputs. So it's just, it's a full-fledged high-res streamer that Bluesound and Lenbrook's very proud of.
Very cool. Well, I'm super excited to give that away. So I think we have a few winners on board. So we'll get ready and announce those. But Travis, is there anything else that you want to add before we see you at the show?
Looking forward to seeing you guys at the show. Thanks so much for having me today. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, take care.
See you, Travis.
All right, so we've got a few winners on here. Let's see.
Nick, the Dolly Rubicors at that show last year was some of my favorite sound at Audio Advice Live.
You did a video on those last year.
Yeah, we did it. We actually did a full review on our site after that too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably too late to link it now, but definitely check out Gene's review on that. But
James Larson. But yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, James Larson, and his reviews are awesome. So let's see. We've got a few winners here. So first one is going to be for the Bluesound Node, and that's going to be for Chris Studebaker. I think so. Sorry, it's on my small screen. So Chris Studebaker. So reach out to us on our website, and we'll get you set up with your new node. So, and then the second one we have. They're giving me hard ones to say. Funfi Empire. So FUNFI Empire. So reach out to us, and that's for the Music Hall MMF 1.5. So you got some good prizes. So awesome. Well, Gene, thanks for coming out, and thanks everybody for joining in. We look forward to seeing you all at Audio Advice Live 2025. Again, we're going to have a code that we're going to put up here for 50% off tickets. That's going to be August 1st through 3rd in the downtown Sheraton Hotel. So look forward to seeing everybody there. Thanks, guys.
Let's see it.